We'll go ahead and start. We're 1 minute early. I'd like to call the meeting to order, the regular meeting of the McLean County Board this Thursday, September 15th, 2022. And we'll please rise for the invocation, a moment of silence by Member Erickson.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we just pray that today that you will give us guidance and wisdom as county board members to do what is best for McLean County. Help that to be our motive. Help that to be our guide. Lord, we pray for all our political leaders, from our president to our governor to our state legislators to county board members. God, just give us the wisdom to do what you would want us to do the right thing, to do what is in the best interest of McLean County. And God, we pray, Lord, that in doing so, Lord, that we will remember to be civil with each other and respectful of each other. For we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. County Clerk, please call the roll.
Ryan Lawler.
Here.
Randall Martin.
Here.
Catherine Metzger.
Present.
Jim Rogal.
Here.
Susan Schaefer.
Here.
James Solner.
Here.
Gerald Thompson.
Present.
Shana Wachinski. George Wendt.
Present.
Josh Barnett. Oops. Hannah Beer.
Present.
Beverly Bell.
Present.
Lindsay Bloomfield. Present. Sharon Chung. Present. Leah Klein.
Present.
Chuck Erickson.
Here.
William John Friedrich. Present. Elizabeth Johnston.
Here.
Val Lehman.
Present.
John McIntyre.
Here. I think we have 19 members present and 1 absent. We do have a quorum. And we'll go on to item number 5 on your agenda, appearance by members of the public and county employees in reference to an agenda item. That is correct at this time. We have two applicants to speak tonight. The first one is Ms. Shelley Nichols Richardson. Would you please come up to the podium? Welcome. Sometimes you got to work on that speaker there, maybe get some help if that mic doesn't work.
Okay.
Thank you, Member Lawler.
Good evening. Thank you very much, and good evening to the McLean County board members. Mr. Chairman and board members, I speak with you tonight regarding University of Illinois Extension funding. My name is Shelley Nichols Richardson, and I serve as an Associate Dean in the College of Agricultural, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences, and as the Director of Extension for the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. As the land-grant institution for the state of Illinois, Illinois Extension leads, directs, and manages the cooperative extension service by receiving and allocating federal funding from the United States Department of Agriculture. These funds require matching funds from the state of Illinois and from local communities, primarily through county board support. I understand that concerns have been expressed regarding extension funds in McLean County, particularly funds being held in reserve. As the Director of Extension, I assure you that the County Director for Extension Unit 12, which includes McLean County, has been using funds wisely and responsibly. Each unit through the County Director is directed by best management practices to hold in reserve 12 to 15 months of funds to support salaries and lease agreements. This is expected by agreements of Illinois Extension to meet employment contracts for our employees who have notification rights. For example, if Extension were to be dissolved tomorrow, Illinois Extension would still be obligated to pay the salaries of our workforce for approximately 12 months. Being a responsible and ethical employer, we have abided by the best management practice of holding 12 to 15 months of funding in reserve to avoid any catastrophic loss in services. This is also to ensure that employees of Extension in McLean County would have the ability to seek employment elsewhere. Further, reserve funds ensure that lease contracts would be fulfilled either wholly or with adequate time to renegotiate these rental agreements. McLean County has one of the strongest extension programs in the state and reaches a diversity of community members. McLean County financially supports 890 clover buds, 555 youth in 4-H, and 4,085 entries in 4-H shows. Numbers for this year increased from the last year, and McLean County has very active Master Gardener, Master Naturalist, and Money Mentors programs, among other commercial agriculture, production garden, forestry, and leadership programs for youth, adults, families, communities, and businesses. This is in part due to the dedication and excellent stewardship of resources by the current county director. If McLean County were to reduce funding for extension, University of Illinois would be unable to provide matching state funds. In essence, for each $1 that is reduced by McLean County, $1.80 would be lost to the county for extension programming. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Mr. Harry Clore. Welcome, Mr. Clore. I forgot to remind everyone that we have 3 minutes. You can see it on the screen up there. Thank you.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you, board members, for allowing me to come speak with you tonight. My name is Harry Clore. I'm Associate Director of Extension in charge of Budget, Finance, and Workforce Development. Dr. Nichols Richardson went into some detail about why I know there's concern about the reserve, and Dr. Nichols Richardson went into some detail about why we want to have that reserve and how we operate. But I want to get a little bit deeper into the numbers. To run our McLean County operation, it takes $1.1 million each year. And thankfully, McLean County's been giving us $300,000 a year. But the reserve that you see built up is obviously not just from McLean County. The money is coming from various sources, such as the state, federal, and of course local, and grant funds. So the reserve that you see built up is not necessarily us just holding on to McLean County funds. It's building for the future, expecting bad things to happen. That's exactly what we're doing. And we want to continue offering the programs that we do in 4-H, Master Gardeners, Master Naturalists, our SNAP education programs, and so forth. And again, if let's look at holding back the $300,000. Excuse my voice. I've kind of been fighting the allergy season. But the $300,000, as Dr. Nichols Richardson alluded to, is actually going to cost the taxpayers $540,000. Well, it's not going to cost the taxpayers, but basically that's eliminating $540,000 of funding. That once, if we don't get it, it's gone. It's gone forever. So that $540,000, if McLean County decides to not allocate the $300,000, then the total is actually $540,000. And we've really been conscious to build reserves. If you remember the good old days back in 2016, 2017, when there was no state budget, we got no state funds at the campus. We got no state funds through IUA. We didn't come ask for more money. We were able to fund what happened. We funded our people. We didn't let anybody go, and we want to keep it that way. So thank you very much for letting me speak. I've got 25 seconds, so I'm giving it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We have a consent agenda in front of you. Part of the consent agenda has a transfer ordinance item which requires a 2/3 votes on page 18. It came from our Justice Committee. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Rogal, second by Member Johnston. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed? Then I'm going to consider that unanimous. We'll go on to the consent agenda in front of you, including the approved transfer ordinance. What say you? Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Bloomfield, second by Member Metzger. Comments or questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. And opposed? And the motion has passed. We'll go on to item G, which is approval of resolutions, and congratulations and commendations. The first two support National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, which is on page 157, in recognition of working women and men of McLean County on page 158 have been submitted. There is no one to be accepting those, so what we do is just refer them to you, and they're in your packet for you to read. The recognition of working women and men of McLean County is referring to part of congratulations on the Labor Day parade and all the importance of labor and working people in this county. And Mr. Rogal will take that back right to the union. And so thank you very much for that. The next two items are from Illinois Farm Bureau, National Farm Safety and Health Week, in support of McLean County agriculture. So I'm going to ask Mr. Friedrich and Mr. Thompson to come up to the podium for the presentation.
Thank you, Chairman McIntyre. McLean County Board Proclamation. Proclamation, September 18th through the 24th, 2022, National Farm Safety and Health Week. Whereas the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics indicate that agriculture sectors remain the most dangerous in America, with fatalities or an equivalent of 2.1 deaths per 100,000 worker. And whereas fall can be one of the busiest and most dangerous season of the year for the agriculture industry, and more farm equipment and trucks operating on roadways as farmers work to harvest crop. Whereas the third week of September has been recognized as National Farm Safety and Health Week, with annual promotions initiated by the National Safety Council and has been proclaimed as such by each sitting U.S. president since Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1944. And whereas the 2022 National Farm Safety and Health Week theme is Protecting America Agriculture Futures, with daily themes. Monday, September 19th, 2022, tractor safety and rural roadway safety. Tuesday, September 10th, 2022, overall farmer health. Wednesday, September 21st, 2022, safety and health for youth in agriculture. Thursday, September 22nd, 2022, confined spaces. Friday, September 23rd, 2022, safety and health for women in agriculture. Now, therefore, let it be resolved by the McLean County Board that September 18th through 24th, 2022 is designated as National Farm Safety and Health Week, and this board reminds all citizens to slow down, pass with caution, and share the roads. Adopted by the McLean County Board this 15th day of September 2022. Kathy Michaels, John McIntyre. Brian Schwartz with McLean County Farm Bureau.
Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of the farmers, farm landowners, and agribusiness professionals in McLean County, we appreciate this recognition. It is the pinnacle of agriculture this time of the year for not only our row crop producers, but also our livestock producers and those small farmers that produce for CSAs and for farmers markets. So appreciate the recognition for this. Thank you.
I'm sure most of you know that agriculture has very, very deep roots here in this county through various different people that have done major things with agriculture. So, in recognition of that, McLean County Board resolution in support of McLean County agriculture states that whereas Illinois is home to more than 71,000 farms, 1,416 of which are located in McLean County, which produces the largest volume of corn and soybeans of any county in the nation, as well as a diverse range of other grain, specialty crops, and livestock. And whereas farmers in Illinois comply with robust regulations involving state and federal agencies to ensure environmentally responsible practices as evidenced through data and information through state regulatory agencies that demonstrates environmental issues from agriculture are an extremely and rare occurrence. Whereas McLean County agriculture represents the largest land use in the county, representing approximately 85% of the total land area, provides for 10% of the property tax base, and is related industry's total economic impact is estimated at $1.5 billion annually. Whereas recent economic disruptions, labor shortages, and supply chain challenges highlight the importance of a robust and resilient agriculture system, McLean County farmers and their prime farmland support by providing economic well-being and food security in our communities. And whereas agriculture in McLean County supports 5,593 jobs, representing an estimated 5% of the total jobs in the county, has been identified as one of 5 key economic sectors targeted for growth by the Bloomington Normal Economic Development Council, and with the new livestock developments, will continue to provide opportunities for economic growth and additional jobs in the county. And now, therefore, be it resolved, the McLean County Board acknowledges the value of agriculture to our local economy, rural communities, and expresses support for continued growth and development of agriculture within our county, adopted by the McLean County Board this 15th day of September 2000. Used to be 2022. And here to accept is Brian Dirks, Vice President of McLean County Farm Bureau.
Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Chairman McIntyre. Thank you, County Board. On behalf of McLean County Farm Bureau, we thank you for acknowledging it. And myself, as being a farmer, thank you again.
Next item, number G5 on your agenda, the 150th anniversary of Ellsworth, Illinois, with Member Solner. Please come to the podium along with Honorable Mayor of Ellsworth, Toby Bain.
Thank you very much. This is the second one of these I've done here for the past few months. If you recall, Bellflower has celebrated theirs, I think it was in June or July. So anyhow, it's my pleasure to present this. I've been a lifelong resident of Ellsworth, so this meant a lot to me, and I spent a lot of Labor Day weekend giving out free popcorn. So anyhow, let's put our glasses on. Resolution to McLean County Board celebrating the 150th anniversary of the Village of Ellsworth. Whereas the Village of Ellsworth, Illinois was founded December 6, 1871 by John Cheney, Almond Brigham Ives, and Oliver Ellsworth. And whereas the Village of Ellsworth became a stop along the Western Railroad and early businesses established, including a hardware store, stockyards, grain elevator, and grocery. And whereas the Village of Ellsworth is currently home to 165 McLean County citizens and is a part of the Tri-Valley School District. Whereas the sesquicentennial celebration was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And whereas sesquicentennial was celebrated this year over the Labor Day weekend with a 3-day event that included a parade, live entertainment, kids' games, craft booths, food vendors, and annual chicken and fish fry. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the McLean County Board congratulates the Village of Ellsworth and all its citizens on their 150-year anniversary, adopted by the McLean County Board this 15th day of September 2022. Congratulations.
I'll make it quick. I want to say thank you for the recognition by the Village of Ellsworth. It was a great turnout this year. I want everybody here maybe to stop by next year and come out and see it. It's kind of amazing for small town how many people we actually have come out and show support. So I appreciate everything you guys do.
So we'll go into the report of the standing committees. First of all is Executive Committee Vice Chairman Solner. Let you get settled there for a minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First item today for the Executive Committee is the item 7A1A, request approval of the Chairman's recommendation on appointment of the McLean County State's Attorney, and I will hand that back over to you.
All right, thank you, Vice Chairman Solner. Well, after many, many hours of interviewing not only the three candidates, but many others who've had previous experience as being associated in a public and professional setting with the candidates, and after seeking out submitted job history references and talking with members of law enforcement agencies, former state's attorneys, current and former judges, and after receiving and reviewing voluntary letters of support for each of the candidates, and after reviewing and evaluating and discussing job performances with previous employers, and finally, after taking a poll and receiving votes yesterday afternoon and evening and today from a supermajority of county board members, 18 of our 20 members did vote, I came to a conclusion. All three candidates, I want to note that all three candidates did well and received positive comments and responses. One candidate stood out for the overwhelming amount of positive responses and confidence from former associates in the fields of law enforcement, judicial, and prosecution. And one candidate, Mr. Aaron Hornsby, has 27 years of commendable service for our McLean County State's Attorney's Office and should be congratulated and thanked by all of us for the service he's given to the county. So I give him a hand, please. I don't know if Aaron is here tonight or not. Also, I see Mr. Eric Gibson is here, who is Assistant State's Attorney from Woodford County. He threw his hat in the ring, and I'm sure he's going to be good. He had a lot of doing a good job over Wood County and a lot of good comments. And Eric, if you're here, please stand up. Thanks for coming over. So therefore, last night, as an act of courtesy, I informed each of the candidates personally of my decision. And so at this time, I'm submitting my nomination for approval, the name of Ms. Erica Reynolds to be the new state's attorney to fill the remainder of the term of Mr. Don Knapp. And so at this time, I would entertain a motion for approval. Member by Member Solner, second by Member Schaefer. Any comments or questions? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? I think that sounds like it's a majority vote, so thank you very much. Thank you, Carrie. Okay, Member Solner, I turn the floor back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all the Executive Committee has for this evening in action items. Our general report can be found in the unapproved minutes, and I would be glad to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Let's go on to the report of Finance Committee Chairman Metzger.
Thank you, Chairperson McIntyre. 7B 1A, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2022 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for the county treasurer, and I so move.
Motion by Member Metzger, second by Member Schaefer. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, and the motion is passed.
We have no other items for presentation or action. However, our general report can be found on pages 11 to 20 of the unapproved meeting minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go on to item C, the Health Committee report. Chairman Schaefer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Health Committee has two items for action today. 7C1A is request to approve an ordinance by the McLean County Board amending Chapter 205 fees, Article 11 miscellaneous code fees, and the McLean County Code for Chapter 216 food service, and I so move.
A motion by Chairman Schaefer, second by Member Beer. Comments or questions? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And motion's passed.
7C1B is request to approve an ordinance by the McLean County Board amending Chapter 205 fees, Article 11 miscellaneous code fees, and the McLean County Code for Chapter 310 sewage disposal systems, water wells, and geothermal exchange systems, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Schaefer, second by Member Chung. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. And opposed? And the motion carries.
Our general report can be found on pages 23 through 28 of the unapproved minutes packet.
Okay, thank you. Let's go on to item D, the Justice Committee report. Chairman Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Justice Committee brings 5 items for action. The first item is item 7D1A, request approval of an MOU for youth diversion between Bloomington Police Department, Normal Police Department, McLean County Sheriff's Department, and McLean County Juvenile Court Services, and I so move.
A motion by Chairman Erickson. Is there a second? Second by Member Bloomfield. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. And opposed? And the motion is passed.
Next item on the agenda is item 7D1B, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2022 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for the Emergency Operations Center, and I so move.
A motion by Chairman Erickson, second by Member Klein. Comments or questions? Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. And opposed? The motion's passed.
Next item on the agenda is item 7D1C, request approval of a grant agreement between the State of Illinois, Illinois Emergency Management Agency, and County of McLean, parens nuclear number 23REPMCLEN, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson. Is there a second? Second by Member Martin. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And the motion is carried.
Mr. Chairman, at the Executive Committee, I combined the item 7D1D and item 7D1E, and I would ask to combine the two here.
Is there any objection to combining the last 2 items, D and E? Hearing none, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Justice Committee brings item 7D1D, request approval of a violent crime victims assistance program grant agreement between the Attorney General of the State of Illinois and McLean County State's Attorney's Office, Grant 23-1070, and 7D1E, request approval of a grant agreement between the State of Illinois, Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority, and County of McLean, ICJIA Grant 221446, and a link has been provided in our packet, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson, second by Member Johnston. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. And opposed? And the motion is carried. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the Justice Committee has no other items for action, and our general report can be found on pages 6 through 10 of the unapproved minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go on to the report of the Property Committee. Vice Chairman Johnston.
Thank you. Property has no items for action, and our general report can be found in the unapproved minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go on to the report of the Land Use and Transportation Committee. Chairman Solder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Land Use and Transportation has no items for action this evening. Our general report also can be found in the unapproved minutes. I would be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you. We'll go on to the report of the County Administrator, Ms. Taylor.
Thank you, Chairman McIntyre. I have no items to present for action this evening, but I do have an item under information. And I am pleased to present the recommended budget for fiscal year 2023. It is a balanced budget and meets compliance with state law and our county budget resolution. It was developed following the board practices of responsible stewardship of tax resources, and it preserves the ability for the county to provide mandated and vital public services. This document represents the all funds budget totaling $126,752,804 and provides funding for 804 full-time equivalent positions. In comparison, the general fund budget totals $44,920,000 approximately and supports 498 full-time equivalent positions. The county general fund tax levy rate is set at 0.25 and it is at the maximum rate. The recommended all funds budget is based upon a 0.915 property tax rate, which is a slight increase over last year's budget of only 0.00105 per $100 of equalized assessed value. This recommended budget is aligned with the county board values of sound financial management, quality county workforce, and community partnerships, and I will highlight a few of those values in action. We value sound financial management. In January, the county was reissued a AA1 rating by Moody's Investor Service, affirming the county's strong financial position. This rating action was acknowledgment of our growing tax base with a slightly above average resident income, healthy financial position, modest debt burden, and moderate pension burden. The county has prioritized capital infrastructure investments by systematically identifying capital improvement projects and deferred capital asset needs, and will use American Rescue Plan Act funds to help support those efforts. The recommended budget includes $3.6 million allocated to building infrastructure improvements. The county has also prepared a broader capital improvement plan, which is presented to you this evening in a separate document. The 5-year plan includes the design and implementation of 114 projects and includes capital costs in the amount of $28,857,317 for 2023. In consultation with the county auditor, the county financial position includes a sufficient general fund reserve. The general fund reserve as of the last audit was 12.7% of all budgeted funds. This figure meets the McLean County budget policy recommended level of 12 to 15% and is congruent with recommended practices by the Government Finance Officers Association. We value our county workforce. Our county employees are the center of our service delivery. They are the greatest resource we can provide the community. Staffing shortages in many of our departments, coupled with lags in market compensation adjustments, have made it difficult to maintain staffing at recommended levels. In 2022, this board approved a compensation and classification study to be completed, and as a result of that study, the FY23 recommended budget includes increases for unrepresented county personnel that denotes market norms and hybrid parity adjustments. A hybrid parity adjustment, in case you're not familiar with that term, takes into account the longevity in the current position and total longevity with the county based on a 30-year career. The compensation and classification study has provided a salary structure that aligns the county more closely with current market salary averages, while also adhering to our existing compensation plan methodologies. The compensation adjustments will take 2 budget cycles to complete and will positively impact employees as well as assist with recruitment and retention efforts. A merit increase through employee performance evaluation is also included within this recommendation. In total, the FY23 recommended budget includes additional $1,340,310 in salary adjustments. The 2023 employer contribution rates for the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund decreased this year from 6.6% in 2022 to 3.94% in 2023. And the sheriff's law enforcement personnel rate is 15.99% in 23, a reduction from the 20.14 rate in 2022. Our health insurance employer costs increased 6.5%, with a 3% recommended increase for the employee portion of PPO and HSA plans. In 2023, we will be introducing an additional benefit related to health insurance. In addition to our 2 current health insurance plans, there will be a third option, a Blue Choice Options Plan, which offers a reduced monthly contribution from the employee and is responsive to feedback received from employees regarding a lower cost family option. We value our community partnerships. The largest community partnership project with which the county is currently engaged is the upgrade to the integrated electronic justice system. We have talked about this. The recommended FY23 budget includes $3.3 million in support for this project. Our current system launched in 1997 and integrates all McLean County law enforcement, state's attorney, public defender, circuit clerk, courts, jail, and court services into one integrated database system. Nearly 800 system users across 33 agencies use this system. The project plan spans several years and with a target completion in 2026. Revenue commitments from the City of Bloomington and the Town of Normal help provide support to behavioral health expenses, which include community behavioral health initiatives and programs consistent with the McLean County Mental Health Action Plan, criminal justice services and detention facility operations related to behavioral health, and debt service in connection to the renovated and expanded Law and Justice Center detention facility. The county's special mental health and public safety fund for FY23 is budgeted at $4,162,575. Other behavioral health expenses are reflected within the departments that provide those services, including court services, the public health department, the public defender, and our nursing home. The 2021 Illinois Safety Act that we've also talked about in these meetings impacts many aspects of the criminal justice system and crime victim support. State and local strategies to respond to those significant reforms are still in development and require extensive collaboration. The recommended budget includes anticipated reduction in revenue and increased costs related to this act and include enhanced officer and correctional staff training, expanded data storage for body camera equipment, expanded data collection and analysis, elimination of cash bail, increased staff need for changes in pretrial release procedures, and increased electronic monitoring. Developing the county budget entails the collective work of numerous county employees. First, I would like to thank Assistant County Administrators Kathy Dreyer and Tony Grant for their assistance and expertise in developing the county budget and capital improvement plan. I would also like to thank the elected officials, department heads, office managers, and interns for the collaboration in creating a structurally sound maintenance budget and for keeping to the timeline in our budget process. Thanks also to Amy Baker and Rachel Neisler for their work with the compensation study analysis, and to Julie Morlock and Kyle Mueller for being responsible for the printing and distribution of our budget documents. Finally, I'd like to thank the McLean County Board for policy guidance and support to administration, and special thanks to the employees of McLean County for their continued passion and diligence in delivering services to the citizens of our community. Mr. Chairman and members of the McLean County Board, I present the FY23 recommended budget to you for your consideration and review. I respectfully request the recommended budget, the 5-year capital improvement plan, and the 2022 combined property tax levy be referred to the appropriate oversight committees for review, and that the FY23 recommended budget be laid on the table for public review and comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. As tradition has it, the county administrator presents the budget for us to take home and take to committees. And so in the past, we handed these out at the beginning. Your requested paper copies will now be in your mailbox, but you may want to grab when you leave. And if you've got an electronic copy, you should have them now or very soon through the email system. Speaking of passion, now we get to go back to work. And thank you for all you do, because this is a very important part for all of us. So get out your red pens and line out a few things, and we'll see if we can get along. And not too many? Okay. And see if we can't continue to provide a continued level tax rate, but yet continued good service to our citizens in the county. So thank you very much. Do you have anything else for us tonight?
I have nothing else. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to item 9, appearances by members of the public and county employees in reference to an item not on the agenda. We had no one apply to speak tonight, so we'll go into item 10, other business and communication. Member Schaefer.
I'd just like to remind all the county board members and the public that our 5th annual Community Behavioral Health Forum will be held on October 4th at the Marriott in Normal. It's free to attend, and there's free parking, compliments to the town of Normal. And there is registration available if you want to have lunch. We'd kind of like to just get count numbers on that. So please refer to the website for that information.
It's
and
an
I hope to
all-day
see-
event. Come out.
It's all
There's a-
day. It starts at 8. We have great keynote speakers, is Mary Campbell and Felly Sebastian are going to be talking as our keynote speakers. We've got 24 breakout sessions in a lot of different topic areas, and a lot of community members are participating. And I think it's going to be a great day to learn more about what's going on in this community and things that could be helpful to everyone.
So you can sit in on 1 or 2 sessions, you'll find a lot going on, very interesting. And they kind of design, a lot of hard work goes in this, they design it for everybody. So there's something for everybody. In fact, the theme of this has been since we started, we're all in this together. So get a chance to come stop in, kind of fill in your schedule with it if you can. I think Mr. Friedrich, you're next.
Thank you, Chairman. I've got one apology and 2 thank yous. First of all, I introduced the nice gentleman with the beard and the yellow shirt is Brian Schwartz. That's incorrect. It's Michael. Brian was the guy following him, so I apologize. I know better than that. We know this group, but I'm blaming it on Gerald Thompson because we switched it up at the last minute. So on to the thank yous. Congratulations, Eric and Reynolds. Don Knapp booked out of here. And I wanted to express my appreciation for him on the board, serving us as our state's attorney. It's not an easy job, and careful what you ask for, Ms. Reynolds. You just might get it, but I wish you luck. And it wasn't an easy decision, so that's my second thank you was to Don Knapp, and I see Judge Chambers here in the back, and keep him in line, Judge Chambers. On to my second thank you. Had a good week this week. I kind of challenged myself, and I called up our sheriff and said, hey, Sheriff John Sandage, I want to take a ride with a deputy. And so he was gracious enough to set me up this week with a gentleman, Deputy Billy Burns. So and his dog Cato. It was a canine unit. So I was pretty excited about that because I love animals. So we hit it off well. First and foremost, I couldn't be any more complimentary of John Sandage, his team, staff. We went in through there. John was busy, so Matt Lane showed me around along with Billy Burns, and had a great time and a positive experience, very positive experience. And point one, I encourage all our board members, if they can take the time, go out there, take a ride with the officer. I'm going to share one story with you. So it's 9 a.m. in the morning, and we're on patrol, and introducing each other. We're talking about the dogs. We've been on the road for an hour. We're at a location, and all of a sudden, in a split second, the detective drops it in gear, floors it. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is going on? Accelerating up to speed, and at that point in time, I'm in a situation where, man, this is real. This is real. 1 minute we're talking about everything under the sun, and the next minute, Detective Billy Burns is on the job, and I'm riding along. And it was just like a matter of 10 minutes. But in that 10 minutes, I left my farm and a ride along with a great dog. till this guy is out here protecting. And it's no different than our other emergency response people. You know, firemen run into a burning building while we're running out. Emergency response people are running to protect us. And it was a great experience. The rest of the day was super awesome, but it couldn't have given me a more awareness of what our emergency response team means to me as a citizen. And we talked about it, and Billy just has a newborn, getting married, just an average Joe. And he's like, oh yeah, I just got back from maternity leave yesterday. Today's my birthday, you know, and I'm like, we're just talking. And I said, how do you go from we're talking till there's a problem? And it's in a split second. And it was the best experience I ever had. The only experience I ever had with a police officer, I might mind you, but it was great nonetheless. So case in point, go take a ride. The men and women of law enforcement are good. They're good to me, and I'm so grateful. And thank you very much. And thank you, Sheriff John Sandage.
Thank you. I think Member Erickson, you're next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also did a police ride-along, but I don't know if mine was exciting as yours, but I spent my time trying to convince the police officer not to give the guy a speeding ticket. And I was successful because he only gave him a warning ticket, you know, because I felt bad for the guy that he might get a speeding ticket, you know, but that's just because I'm a big softie. In regards to the budget, I didn't hear everything, and I haven't had a chance to look at the budget. I thought you said, if you didn't say this, and you can correct me, that the tax levy is going up slightly. And my question is, how much would it take, how much money would we have to take out of the budget to keep the tax levy the same as it was last year?
Do you have any numbers on that?
I don't have that calculation.
George asked that question.
Every year. We're expecting that question. We should probably be prepared to come up with a dollar figure, but it's also going to amount on it's variable because it's going to amount on other things that come out of the budget, or in or out, whatever you do. As you go through the work process, we'll get you that answer as soon as we can. You know, as we come back in October, we'll have a better idea and a better handle on it. I believe the rate, though, and you can talk on this a little bit, the rate on it's thousands of a number of us.
I understand that, Mr. Chairman. That wasn't my question, though. My question was, how much money do we have to take out to make?
And we will know, but we can't answer it now until we work through it and see exactly.
Well, it is a question that is asked every time we have this meeting. I mean, member Went always asks that question. So, yes, I mean, I hope we can get that answer soon.
I have approximate answer of $30,000 to $50,000, but I will give you a specific answer
All right,
very
thank
soon.
you.
I think the last time it was 18,000, wasn't it? A year ago, so we're close. And you think of our budget and overall total budget, that's really close. So we'll work on it. Okay. Member Thompson.
Yeah, real quick. I know we talked about it, about the farm safety. I can't reiterate that enough because I've been on the roads when you're in the machines and people are 5 cars back or trying to pass, and it's just slow down, take your time. Secondly, if you've ever had an interest in coming out and being a part or see what's going on in agriculture, it's completely different than it used to be, and I would encourage you to, if you have questions about it, find your local farmer, or you're welcome to come into my place, and we'd be glad to have you. And Member William and I think Member Erickson have been out, and I give you an open invitation. So with that, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Well, if not, this concludes the meeting. I want to thank you for all your input. It's a very busy week for all of us, and we'll continue to work together and work through this budget and see you all next month. Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.